Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. Tonight we are playing Riffs, Ballad of Fates, but you should make sure you tune in the rest of the week as we have, of course, Tuesdays is Riffs, but on Wednesdays, about 1 p.m. EST, we have Kingdom Hearts Dreams of Nobody. Fridays is going to be Warehouse 15, a Monster of the Week game at 8 p.m. EST. Sundays is going to be the Gehenna Principle at 2 p.m. EST. And then Mondays is going to be the Long Road Home, a Wander Home game at 2 p.m. EST. So check all those out. And of course, if you haven't heard already, we have a little charity stream planned June 19th. Me and Nerds with Dice and the Bardic Knock are teaming up to put on a little Yu-Gi-Oh card duel tournament and we're going to be raising money for Stonewall Community Foundation. We are still looking for duelists, so if you can head over to either the Bardic Knock or the Nerds with Dice Twitter, there should be a link there for the sign up, or head into the Nerds with Dice Discord. There's one there as well. And we have merch that you can check out. The link is in the chat, or you can find it in the Nerds with Dice Twitter bio. That should be everything.
All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Rifts, where the world has exploded and a group of adventurers seek to find the secrets of the threads that bind them all. Except now they are no longer on the world of Rifts, which is Earth. They are now on a world called Palladium, which is more of a fantasy setting, where they are going through the wastelands, searching for the birthplace of one of the character Kid's mom, who was born several centuries, maybe even millennia ago here. I think it's been 6,000 years. I might have said 600 at some point, but I think it was 6,000.
I think it's 6,000 is the
It's
official.
6,000. Yeah.
She looks good.
Yeah, she looks great for being merely
6,000 years. Well,
6,000
6,000 plus, I guess.
Well, everything's relative when magic becomes involved.
True.
Yeah. But the party was traveling through the desert with some guides, who I believe I said were Quarians. And Quarians are aliens when a giant sandworm basically just ate the whole Quarian and mount, and then reared up to attack the rest of you. But before we get back to the action, let's go around and introduce ourselves, starting with Peppermint.
Everyone, I'm Nerdy Teddy, and I'll be playing Peppermint, our nature mage and healer.
All right, and Starissa.
Hi, I'm Kate. I'll be playing Starissa, our mystic for the evening.
All right, Kid.
I was muted. Hello, I am Evan Jennings. I will be playing Krogahel Kid, the blacksmith, with a 6,000-year-old mom.
Okay, that's not really a character trait of yours. Freya.
I'm the only one that has a 6,000-year-old mom, though.
That you know of.
That's fair. This is Rifts. That's fair.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I play Freya, who's a human spy, but she's also a Night Bane, which means I also play Rohan. They are an 8-foot-tall, scaled, angelic creature with an 8-foot wingspan and a flaming sword.
All right, and Greeks.
Hi, I'm Ting. I'm playing Greeks, a goblin-looking amphibious DB. Side-type.
All right. So the group was traveling through this wasteland desert on their major quest after each spoke to some sort of forgotten deity of sorts, and are now traveling to the place that will, after a 3-month, let's say, sabbatical in the lands, of Palladium are now on their way to what they believe was the ruins, what they expect to be the ruins of Cairn Carver Keep. Nope. Not the Orc Smashers. They became the Dead Piler Keep. Nope. My brain's blanking on all the things I said before. I remember there was some alliteration that we settled on that we liked for the name of the place.
Oh, it was either they had two names for my tribe, the Dead Pilers and the Cairn Carvers. So
Yeah,
it could have been
Cairn-
Cairn. I think it was probably Cairn Carver Keep. I think is what,
Yes,
is what
that's what I have. in
you
the
Sounds
notes.
officially
right.
called it. But I would
Yes.
imagine that in the lore of the world, it's probably kind of interchangeable.
For as much as, yes, that did make it harder to find more information.
Yeah.
Because if it was written in Dwarvish, it was Cairn Carver. It was translated Dwarvish. It was Dead Piler.
Oh, I like that. Cool. That's cool. Yeah.
So, as you were traveling through the desert, a massive white, alabasterish looking worm rears up out of the thing. Its head is not exactly smooth. You described it as a Beetlejuice worm, and thinking back, it's not nearly as smooth as a Beetlejuice worm.
Ah.
It's more segmented, and it has eyes and an opening maw. And it has, now that it is reared up, you can see centipede-like legs, starting about 20 feet from the head. It is about 30 feet high right now,
Oh my god.
towering above you. It looks poised to strike down. So, let's go ahead and roll some initiatives.
Let's do it.
Hey, that's good
My
for it.
initiative is plus nothing. Ooh, 13.
You always think Kid, he's the quickest on the uptake.
I got a 13 this time. I'm doing okay.
I got a 15.
All right.
Okay.
Anyone get above a 20? 19, 18.
I got a
17.
15 also.
Okay. I'm gonna
14.
put Peppermint second, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
That's fine.
And Michelle, what'd you get?
Freya is a 12, and Rohan is a 10.
Okay. So, and Evan got a 13. So it goes.
Uh-huh.
Starissa. Peppermint. Greeks. Kid. Freya. And then Rohan. But all of you go after the massive sandworm.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
What did the sandworm get?
Hold on, let me look up its bonus.
A lot.
A lot.
More than us.
Just
Okay, it's
solid
only a 19.
35.
It's only a 19 with the bonus. All right. All right. So this thing. Okay, that's good to know. Ooh, that's even better to know.
Stop reading its magical powers. Kevin's like, oh, we can spit acid and paralyze you? Yeah, nice, nice, nice.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
Oh. So it opens its maw, and inside is kind of a sub maw
Aw.
of tentacles,
Of course.
which lash down at some of the people. It's gonna get 2 tentacle attacks per action.
Are we the only ones left alive here?
You've
or
got
are
about
there still
2 other guides on
Okay.
mounts. Are you all? You are all on like the equivalent of horses, which in this case would be
Did you
riding
say
a lizard.
lizards?
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, we got red
I
shirt.
have my ship.
Oh yeah, and Greeks' ship is hovering along. The thing about Greeks' hovering on this desolate Earth is it's often kicking up a big dust storm. I mean, the lizards do as well, but the hover puts out a lot of like dust. So you've probably had to power down and not be as fast so you didn't like put the party in a haboob essentially.
Yeah.
The oh, I just noticed that. Okay, let's see. First whip attack is going at. Let me see. Let me roll the 6 here. It is going at Kid.
Bring it.
All right.
I will go on.
Okay, there's a 15 to hit you.
Okay. I'm going to try to parry
Uh-huh.
because I get a +8 to my parry.
Mm-hmm.
So I roll a d20 for this, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I need to beat a 15.
Yes. It does not cost you an action.
I did not. I repeat, did not beat a 15 with a
Okay.
+8, unfortunately. So we will, do not ones make me get hurt more normally than
No.
normal? Okay.
We don't do critical misses.
I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just for a friend. I'm asking for a friend in ribs.
All right, so this massive tentacle comes down and slaps you basically for 30 SDC in this case. Just take it off your armor,
Okay.
and it wraps around you.
I got it.
You are entangled.
I don't think I got this.
It will use its second action to lift you off the ground.
It keeps turning my damage into money on this. I don't know how to do spreadsheets, Kevin.
What'd you do to the spreadsheet?
Oh, no.
I didn't do anything to it. I'm trying to input the thing and it's turning it into money. I have 120 money now. Out of a.
Let's see, what's your character's name? The Kid. There we go.
Nerdy's like, I'm so over this. This kid, this guy's
Alright.
such an idiot.
No, I'm
You know what?
over the
It can be
heat.
money. It can be money. I don't care if it's money. I don't need to change
I
it.
still understand what it means. So we're still good. I have 120 money and I'm getting entangled.
There
We're
you go.
good.
So yeah,
Money.
I just turned it to 12,000 for a second accidentally.
Thir-
it
30
pull-
coins topple to the floor.
Yeah, 30. It's like in Scott Pilgrim. It pulls you up into the air. You are no longer on the ground, and any attacks you make against it will probably be halved because you don't have a good
That makes sense.
place to stand.
I'm not on the ground anymore. Yeah.
All right. Up next is Starissa.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to feign. It's my first combat yet.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Oh man.
There's been a lot of talking.
Yeah, which is wonderful. But five actions per melee. Does it mean I have 5 attacks?
So basically, here's how this will work. Each melee is about 15 seconds, and you take one action at a time. So
Okay.
we go around, everyone takes an action until you're out of
Okay.
actions.
I get it.
Dodging takes an action unless you have auto dodge.
Okay.
Parrying is always free.
Well, I am shooting a firebolt. I said, "Put Kid down."
All right.
And that is a 19 to hit.
You hit.
If I have to roll, it says on the spell, it just says dodge as the save.
Oh, then it's still, yeah, your spell save would be a 13, but this 5 doesn't work. So so you do hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. And that is 4d6. That's going to be 15 MDC.
Okay, and you are in Palladium, so MDC isn't the same, but it does directly translate to SDC here. So the magic which you had seen do like melt tank parts, in on Rift's Earth. Here, the magic is less intense. It still does a significant amount of damage, or you expect it to do a significant amount of damage. Like if you had shot this at a wagon, it would have blasted a hole in it. But the giant worm does not seem to notice as much as you think it should.
Oof.
Okay.
And that being magic fire does make a difference.
Okay.
All right. Peppermint. Oh, no, wait. So we generally do 2 actions at a time. I'm sorry. That because
Oh,
we found
yeah,
it goes
so
slightly quicker if people
We
do 2
homebrewed
actions at a
that.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would you like to do something else?
I'm gonna move in closer towards it and try to give it a punch.
All right, it's pretty easy to get up right up on it. You jump off your mount. You reel back and swing away.
Okay. That is a 8 to hit.
That's probably not going to hit. Let me.
I
Oh,
don't
what
think.
page is it on? There it is. All right, yeah, it does manage to dodge in a way that your hit doesn't really connect as well. It's moving quicker than you kind of expected.
Okay.
All right, Peppermint.
All right, I'm gonna start by casting my magic net on this.
All right, it is at least 50 feet long from what you can tell.
I want to. I assume I want to try to get it like around where the tentacles are coming from.
Its face.
Yeah, its face area. To at
Okay.
least try to slow it down, because I know I can't cover it with the whole net, but
Yeah. All right. This will actually. What is it? Normally requires a thing, but this will actually require a roll to strike,
okay.
and then it will get a save. You'll definitely hit at least part of it, but if you hit the mouth, is a different thing than if you hit like the base of it.
I rolled a 9.
All right. It is pretty quick, and it does manage to get out of the way of it a bit. What you will do with this magic net, because what does magic net normally do? Like, a lot.
Yeah, it does a lot. It does a whole lot of restricting and.
Well, in this case, I'll say it takes away its auto dodge,
Okay.
as the net
Nice.
wraps around it, kind of constraining it a bit. This will probably make it much easier to hit in the future.
Oh, that's
It
good.
does manage to save, though, so what does that do? Gives it...
Hold on, I had to find the
Yeah.
actual spell real quick.
Oh, my book's right here, under the stack of things I haven't moved in a minute. Magic net. Nope, that's Alex. Nope. Magic shield, magic net. Anyone caught in the magic net is helpless and unable to defend. Normal magic cannot cut through it.
Was this the bullshit spell from the last game that we played?
Well, Carpet of Adhesion also does something.
Yeah.
It was
similar,
Carpet of
but-
Adhesion. I got stuck to one of these, and it was a
And
it
it
was
just
a load
takes
of
you out of the
bullshit.
fight.
It's
Yep.
just
Yeah,
the
but
fucking with me and my
This
motorcycle.
is
It
the
was
spell I
everything.
used so we could subdue the devil eel.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Um,
I'm glad it's on our side. I'm glad we're using it on the enemies.
Yeah, so this doesn't seem to have locked it down as much as you'd hoped, but it has taken away its auto dodge, I'll say.
Okay.
Okay, up next is Greeks.
Okay. I'm gonna fire my cannons at the tentacle. That's
What kind of cannons are these?
these are the ion cannons.
Ion cannons, that does matter.
Yeah, firing ion cannons at the tentacle that's got a hold of a kid.
Alright, that's a cold shot. You'll take a -3.
Okay. Oh, natural 20.
Oh, that will hit with double damage.
Nice.
4.
Pardon me.
Can you guys hear my girlfriend arguing with my dogs?
That seems like a winning proposal.
It's adorable. They are not listening.
So she's losing.
She's losing.
32 damage.
32 damage. All right, that blasts. That's enough to blast that tentacle apart, and Kid drops to the ground. Kid, roll to fall with impact, or
Okay.
roll to roll with impact.
Where is that?
3.
Just roll d20.
Okay. 9.
All right, that's less than I wanted. You hit the ground hard, so you take 8 hit points, not SDC, hit points.
Ooh.
As your armor is not built with padding in. Your armor is not power armor. All right, but Kid, you are now at the base of it.
I want to. It's got little legs. You said.
Yeah, it has little legs on it.
Does it look
Some
like?
of a lot of them seem to be. A lot of the ones you can see, I'll say, are kind of wrapped up in some of the magic netting.
Oh, it's like a bunch of little lizard
Little,
legs.
like-
Centipede like legs.
Yeah.
Could I eyeball a fella to look like it's like, is it using one of the legs specifically to balance itself right now? You know, or a pair of its legs to balance itself?
Eyeball a fella doesn't apply here. It is definitely not any sort of fella.
Okay.
But looking at it tactically, you can see that this thing, if you're seeing, this is not a thing you'd know, but
Okay. If it's not, I'll just whack it.
yeah, like the legs are there for digging and tunneling, one assumes, but they don't seem to be such a stabilizing force.
Okay. Then I am. Going
Also
to
the
run
legs towards the top of it are tiny and get bigger as they go.
as
They're
they go
still
down.
comparatively small, but the ones at top are like tiny little insects, and then get to be like raptor claws a little further down, compared to its size that you can see.
All right, then I'm just gonna hit it in the body with my hammer. I'm gonna
All right.
light my hammer up and just swing into it.
Okay.
So I roll my d20.
Was call shot two actions?
Oh, cold shot was not
Okay.
2 actions. Sorry, Greeks.
Oh, go ahead, Greeks.
Okay. I'll shoot it again. 18.
All right. And go ahead and roll your damage.
12.
12. All right. That just hits it square in the body, and.
Yep.
All right. Kid, you were gonna swing at it with your flaming hammer.
Yeah. I got a 15 plus 4, a 19.
Its tiny arms are unable to parry you.
Boom. That's gonna be a lot of damage. Let me get my.
All right.
dice
So
roll.
have the fire damage.
Why would you do that to me? That's how I do my. So my flaming hammer is 3d6 plus 3d6. Does that mean that I'm down to 3d6 plus 3d6? Like the second 3d6 is cut in half?
Just roll 3d6
Okay.
instead of 66.
$14 damage.
All right. Add an extra d6.
Okay. 18 damage, and then plus 9 for my damage bonus.
27.
Boom!
All right.
And I'm gonna hit it again.
Okay.
because For my
You
second.
chunk into its armor, and you hear an impact of the armor. It didn't exactly splinter.
It's wearing armor, or it's
Oh,
natural, like
it's natural
hide.
armor, like kind of chitinous, kind of hide-ish.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Are there segments in it?
Yes, but the segments look to be the kind that are super sealed. Like, because this is a thing that travels in tunnels, so like they overlap very tightly.
Oh, so it's like almost scaled in a way.
Unless you want to do something about it.
Well, what I wanted to do was if I could pry one of those off, like a chunk of the chitin to open up a little squishy soft part, so that maybe somebody with like a better could get in there. Somebody who can hit a little bit harder than me might be able to.
That'd be like trying to peel off a piece of an airplane.
Okay.
This thing is 30 feet tall. I should say its diameter is at least 10 feet,
Well, how about this?
if not 20.
If I can't, and it's okay, if I can't rip off an absolute shell of it, can I like wham, wham, to where like I'm cracking a piece of it?
You're trying to
That way
focus.
Yeah. So like once
Alright.
I see that, like I heard something.
So
and
take
this
a
is, like,
negative.
armor.
Take a -3 to hit.
Oh
again.
fuck. Okay, it's a called shot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Come on, big money. Okay, 14 plus only 1, which is 15 because I have -3.
This one doesn't seem to connect as easily. It gets its meager arms in the way.
Ew.
And kind of bats your sledge away.
Okay.
Freya.
Okay. So Freya and Rohan have been practicing splitting. So that happens.
Splitters.
And then she's going to take out her pistol, her energy pistol.
Mm-hmm.
See if she can hit. That is a 17 to hit.
All right, you definitely hit it. But
It's an
this
energy
thing
pistol.
seems to be resistant to heat.
So the energy pistol doesn't do anything.
I'll give you half damage on it because
Okay.
this is a highly focused kind of thing.
All right, so 2d6. 12.
Okay, so your energy pistol still packs a punch. Is that 12 halved or?
No, that's just 12. Yeah, I rolled
Okay.
2d6, so 12.
All right, so there is a bit of sizzle, but not much, as the laser seems to do very meager amounts against it.
Okay. Well,
But now you know.
yes. And that's it for Freya.
Okay, and Rohan.
Okay, he's gonna fly up there.
Okay,
Let's see. A 28 to hit.
yes, it cannot possibly parry that. Could potentially dodge it, but can't parry it.
31 damage.
All right. So, does your weapon do extra damage against minions of darkness? Any other things?
Yeah, it's supposed to do an extra 14
Against what?
minions of darkness and
This is a supernatural being, but it is not a minion of darkness.
okay. So that's what he does.
Yep, and I'm sorry, that was 20,
31.
31 damage. Okay. Again, a resounding slam into its armor, leaving a bit of breaking near on its kind of what its face might be.
Yeah, because he's flown up there and trying to.
Yeah. And a kind of reddish purple blood kind of pours out a little bit.
Okay, he is going to swing again. That is a
Okay.
25 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
on. Math. 38.
All right, 38. Carry the 2.
And that is Rohan's turn.
8, 9, 21. All right. Rohan does that. At this point, the ground beneath all of you kind of rumbles as Greeks, you're probably the furthest away from it. Would you say, or would you say someone else got further away?
Yeah.
3 of you got right up there. So Greeks, you're in your pod. Coming from underneath you, a massive tail juts up from the ground and comes slamming down on your pod.
Oh no.
That is a 22 to hit you.
I like this creature. This thing's fucking cool.
Can't dodge that.
All right. Okay. Oof. Oh, did I write down that note? Nope. I looked up a thing and I immediately forgot it like I do. How much supernatural strength does it do? There we go. Ah, 1d6 times 10. Plus. It does, it slams down, dealing 34 damage to your pod. This counts as MDC for purposes of current maths.
Okay.
Knocking your pod down into the sand itself, kicking up a bit of a cloud around you. So if you stay in the same place, you might get some penalties, but you're probably smart enough to move out of that before trying to fire at it. Its tail is also about like a 10-foot diameter. Given rough estimates, this thing is easily 70 to 100 feet long.
Yeah. Could I roll with the impact?
Yes, you can roll with impact to take less damage.
19.
Still not enough to roll with the impact of it. Because you got to beat the roll with impact, I believe. Forgotten the roll with impact rules. So yeah, you just take the full damage from it.
That was 34, you said?
Yep. All right. Back around to Starissa.
Okay, so, question: Is its face down closer to us now, or is it still pretty high up, shooting tentacles at us?
Oh, it's still pretty high up. It hasn't shot another tentacle yet.
Okay, so I believe I could cast Blinding Flash safely enough that it wouldn't affect us, but affect it because it has a 10-foot radius.
Is it a 10-foot radius from you, or does it say
From the point that I cast it?
Cool. Then yeah, you can cast it up by its head.
Okay, and then I'm gonna spend 3 PPE to make it -1 save.
Okay.
Do I have to roll anything, or is it just
No,
save
you
on your
don't.
part?
It's a save on my part. It doesn't have any bonuses besides its supernatural PE. Let's look that up real quick. That's right, it was 26. What does 26 give it on a save versus magic? This chart exists. All right, so it gets a +5 on this. And you're a low-level spellcaster, so I believe it's a 14. Your spell save DC. Or is it 13? Well,
I am not seeing it.
I might not have put it on your sheet clearly. So I believe it is 13 for you.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Keep things
It
moving.
rolled a 21. Though
Dang.
Though you also do realize after the blinding flash, it just closes its eyes. But that doesn't seem to have changed its behavior much.
Okay. And then for the second action, I'm going to let another fire blast go.
All right.
That is a 15 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay. $16.
All right. It
damage.
once again, it doesn't seem to be doing full damage to it.
Okay.
All right, Peppermint.
Okay, so now I know the fairy pouch will have just about any rare ingredient that I need for things. Will I be able to pull
Oh my
like
god, damn it.
can I use it here to pull out something to help fight this sandworm or
Do you know anything about the sandworms? Give me a monster and creatures of magic, or demons and creatures of magic.
historically I'm very bad at this roll, so
Well, maybe you've learned a thing or two.
I rolled an 8 out of 80.
All right, so with an 8, I'll say you have heard of these. It is called a sandworm with a Y. It is a subspecies of dragon, technically, specific only to the Balgor area, because he did some research ahead of time. Its weaknesses are rune weapons. It also tends to underestimate people, and often acts in haste or anger. It's capable of speaking, but they tend not to be very smart, and they have psychic powers, but very minor ones.
Okay.
So there's no real direct.
Yeah, there's not like a
Yeah, it's
rare,
like a dragon.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have
Here's some other things you might know about it. This thing is going to be a juvenile for as long as it is. It being under 100 feet means it is young.
So these are like doom worms when they grow up.
Yes, when this thing grows up, it'll be 300 to 400 feet. They have an incredible sense of smell,
That's
can track
huge.
prey across the desert, night vision, see the invisible, tremor sense, can burrow and dig, impervious to heat and fire, magical fires and high intensity ones do half damage. And it will bioregenerate if you give it time. Also, it might know a few spells. There are rumors about that, but none of them seem to agree.
Okay.
Many people who have encountered them did not, successfully get away. Only from the distance have they been seen. Generally.
That's like what, like a 30-story building?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, so basically it's a skyscraper when they get big.
And they have psychic powers.
A couple. They don't have, melt your mind, but
And they can talk, they just don't give a fuck. Holy
one would
shit.
assume it being a dragon it speaks Draconic. But, angry babies. Lashing out.
Hungry babies.
Angry.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this means that I know that most of the weapons I have don't really do anything. This is a kind of monster I'm not prepared for.
Are you all fire?
I could whack it with my staff, which would do
True.
1 mega damage.
Your staff has special
I don't know.
properties,
It's
though, doesn't it?
1d6 now.
Does your staff count as a rune weapon?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't.
That.
You know what? Let me look it up real quick. 'Cause that might matter. I know your staff is a weapon of magic,
Yes.
but it's still not
I
the
was
most powerful
thinking-
thing in the world.
Yeah, I was thinking that it was not so much a rune weapon as
Yeah, rune
Uh,
weapons are their own thing.
yeah, because it seems more like a faith weapon kind of thing.
Yeah. Something specifically call out. So yeah, let's say it doesn't.
And the other thing is my energy pistol.
We'll do half probably.
Okay, yeah, I will just attempt to shoot it. Uh, 8,
What'd you get on the die?
5.
Okay, that will hit. Anything under a 5 definitely misses no matter what you're rolling. Or no matter what weapon you're using.
Okay.
But a 5 will hit still.
Alright. And you said a half damage? I have 3d4 for this.
Okay, so just roll the 3d4 and...
Okay.
Oh! This will do 4... Or your staff, by the way, does 4d6 against dragons.
Oh.
Only in your hands, though. Which means
Okay.
you gotta get close enough to hit it.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
That is good to know, though. So, I have 5 damage from the pistol?
Alright, and so that brings it down to basically... I'll round up for 3.
Okay.
32.
I will shout out, if anybody's got rune weapons, now would be the time to use them.
Do we have rune weapons?
Oh, wait a minute. Freya has a Nor rune pistol. Is that...
That's complicated. Let me... What book were they in? They were in... Are they in Canada? Or were they... No, they were World Book 30. I think the Nerd Dwarves. Not that it matters. Well, it does matter, because they might have been in the Coalition Navy source book. Let me check there first. Which is a very specific source book. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, not in there. Maybe Canada. Let me look at Canada book. There was a sale on PDFs, by the way.
nice.
Free topic, Door Dwarves. What book are they in? World Book 30. Okay. Thanks, Google and forums. Their weapons would be in the GM's guide.
Thank you, Armor Lord, for the 9-month subscription.
Hooray!
Nice.
Thank you.
And also the helpful tidbits of information that you bestow upon us while we play.
So it might be in DBs of North America.
Yeah, but I don't know that they list the weapons in there. Oh my god, it's in the Book of Magic. See, this is the thing with having so much in your head. Let me open DBs of North America anyway. See if it's there real quick. Nope. Oh, the little lizard people that are not lizard people. Noli Bushmen, Neretrias, which are anteater people, Nerdwars.
Anteater people. Gross.
I love that.
First you appeared in Coalition Navy. Why weren't you listening to the Index of Coalition Navy then?
Because it wouldn't be, if you found it right away, you wouldn't have been on this grand adventure that you're on
Editing.
right now,
This exciting adventure I'm taking everybody with me on.
Cap.
This thrilling quest to find out.
Because I asked the question. Welcome to
Because
Rift.
it could matter a lot. If the
Yeah.
answer was, it won't matter, I wouldn't be looking it up. But I want, because you guys got these cool weapons, I want them
to matter.
can matter. Yes, where?
Yeah, see, and I like my staff apparently does damage to dragons, but I thought it was just like vampires and stuff.
Well, it's supernatural creatures, of which this thing counts. Definitely not with the Navy equipment. Not made by Triton or the secret Navy that's in the Atlantic.
The secret Navy.
Well, they call themselves the New Navy, but anyway.
Of course they do.
So imagine during the apocalypse you were on a submarine. And you somehow got superpowers.
Rifts is so fucking wild. My favorite thing is when you do the recap for Rifts, it just sounds like, imagine coming in and not knowing anything, and like there's just the blurb that you do in the beginning is like, what the fuck is going on? It's just there's so much. You just can't.
There we go. Okay, so is it rune magic? Well, let me read the nerd doors real quick because I just scrolled past them, didn't I?
It's sort of like watching one episode, like the first episode of a TV show, and then watching one episode in the middle of the 5th season.
Yeah. And you're like, oh
Yeah.
boy, I really don't know what the fuck is happening.
They work with Blue Tree. So it's not direct rune magic. It is techno wizardry using runes and diablerie.
Diablerie? I played Vampire the Masquerade. I know what
Not
that is.
that kind of diablerie. A little different, but more evil.
Diablerie in Vampire the Masquerade is not worth it.
It really is a pain in the ass.
It's stupid.
It's
You have like
complicated as hell.
a 90% chance to completely lose your character. Like not even a low chance. It's stupid.
Well, if you're eating more powerful vampires. It says a nerd rune weapon, but it isn't capitalized. You know what? Let's call it a rune weapon. Let's
Fuck
say
it.
that they do rune damage because y'all are gonna have a time.
So, can I roll the extra 2d6?
Oh, that was your energy pistol.
Right, it's the
Okay.
rune North pistol.
Yeah,
Rune-
you didn't use like a basic thing. You used a rune pistol. So yeah, roll those other 2d6.
3.
Okay,
Yeah.
noted. Worth the 10 minutes.
Yes. No,
Sorry.
because now
Now you know.
now Freya
Now we
knows
know.
she's got a magic gun.
Yes.
There we go.
All right. Not only a magic gun, it has to be a rune-powered magic gun, which is still a bastard form of rune magic. If you had shown like your techno wizard rune magic pistol to any sage, they probably would have been terrified of you and it. Not because it's a magic pistol; those they just think of as wands. Like this is a really
Oh.
fancy wand, but it being a rune weapon. Those are feared, and people who carry them are dangerous.
Yeah, that's why she kept it from the pirates.
All right.
Smart.
All right. And what was happening? Peppermint had done one thing. Or not.
I had done one thing, but Peppermint's not usually the one who gets close, but I think she will run in and try to smack it with her staff.
All right. You got it pretty held in place, so it's probably not going to be able to do too much. Ooh, rolled low.
Smack it.
Yeah,
I
get
rolled a 2 on the dice.
it.
Oh no. Plus?
Nope, not enough.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
It's a miss.
Yeah.
Your
Slipped in the
staff feels light and free, but it is the shifting ground underneath you does give away. But you feel confident that if you hit it, it will, give a resounding crack. Greeks.
Well, I found a tail, or it found me. What's the What does it look like? Is it just
The tail is
Yeah,
a
like
lot like
pincers on it or something?
Have you ever seen a skink tail? Like skinks tend to be the same wide at the front and back, and kind of have markings on it that make it look a little like. Skink is an actual lizard. Let me see if I'm thinking of the right lizard.
How do you spell it? Okay.
Nope,
It's not a skink?
it's not like a California or Western skink. Its head and its tail are about the same width.
Gotcha.
Like if it was curled in half, you could like it might take you a moment to see which side was the head, if not for the one with the tentacles coming out.
Right.
What the hell lizard am I thinking of?
What? Describe it?
It's a lizard with a head kind of an arrowhead shape, and its tail's also in an arrowhead shape.
What, the thorny devil, is it? The one that shoots blood out of its eyes?
What?
Maybe?
Thorny devil. Look
Like
up
a
the thorny devil.
shingleback lizard tends to have this kind of thing. That's what I'm thinking of. The fat-tailed gecko kind of thing. Shingleback is probably because they have them at the Philadelphia Zoo.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So its tail is like a large swamping. But imagine that thing with more of a round face and a lot of tiny arms along it. I'll put a picture in the public
I
display.
know what you're talking about. I don't think it's not a desert lizard, is it?
No, this one is that I'm looking at. It's a shingleback lizard, the bobtail lizard, the two-headed lizard, the pine cone lizard.
Well, anyway,
Anyway,
let's see. I'll
Yes,
fire
that's
at the section where Kid got some of the armor plates loose.
yeah, you're aiming for the same area.
Yeah.
All right, so focus or called shot.
21. Or no,
20.
20. No, just 20. 30, 20.
Yeah, it hits easily.
And then a 10.
All right,
Oh,
10
he probably
damage.
misses. No, that was the second.
Oh, the 10 misses. Yes.
Okay. And I'll pump some damage, psychic damage into it. $19 9 is 28.
28 damage. All right, you guys are wailing, or y'all are wailing away, but it doesn't seem to even have drawn much blood yet.
Does it look tired?
Is it sleepy?
Is it sleepy? Is it like, you know what? Maybe I want to rethink this.
No.
Okay.
Caps lock is stuck.
Does its back armor look different than its belly?
No, because it is perfectly round on this one. Like it's
Okay.
more round than most lizards. All right. So that was both shots.
Yeah.
Kid.
Let's do this. I don't know what else to do besides hit it.
Yeah.
I have very few things that I am good at, and hitting is the thing that I'm good at.
Well, here's the thing: you can. Well, no, because someone's already in its face, so you can't try to get it to eat you and then fight its tentacles. Because one would
I don't
assume
wanna
if it's gonna put those tentacles out, they're going to go for the nearest thing.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna kill its tentacles with my hammer. I feel like you need something sharp to do that.
The tentacles
gonna-
are also like the size of small trees.
I'm gonna
That's where
wail.
Rohan is. That's where
Yeah,
Rohan
Yeah,
That's
I'm
where
gonna let
Rohan is.
Rohan do. That sounds like a Rohan job to let a creature eat it so that it can kill it from the inside out. That sounds like a Rohan thing. I am
Maybe.
gonna keep wailing on this same spot where me and Greeks are hitting to hopefully maybe crack open a piece of its armor to really get in there to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
So, my first hit is very bad. It is
Okay.
a 4 plus 4.
Nope, you miss.
Okie dokie. So let's go for number 2.
As Peppermint runs up next to you, the shifting sands around its tunnel have caused the footing to become unstable, and you both miss.
Ah! Want to try again? Much better. A 16 plus 4.
That will hit.
Nice. So that's going to be, you said only roll 3d6, right?
Roll 4d6.
46, okay.
As your
11 plus 9.
20.
Not great.
As your blaze, not great. 20 is not bad.
I can do so much more.
It starts to crack. You start to see bits of it that you can kind of like flake away at. If you had something sharp, you might be able to like jam it in there and open up a bit more of a hole.
Okay.
So Freya.
Okay, Freya wants to make sure she moves to where she's not in a direct thing with the tail, and to where she can still
Yeah.
shoot at it. But
So you get further away from Greeks.
yeah, yeah, and go to try to take a shot at it.
At the tail or the upper part of it? If it doesn't matter to you, then it doesn't matter to it unless you're going for something special.
Not going for anything special, just shooting it.
Okay.
And that is an 8. I don't think an 8 works.
No, it's not going to work.
8. And then a 20.
20 will hit.
Okay.
Where is that chart? Where's that other thing? There we go.
17.
17. And that being rune damage.
Yeah.
Full effect. If it were a pure rune weapon, it'd do double, but it is not a pure rune weapon.
Okay, that's cool.
So, math and math. I had
My
to
two
carry
most-
over. I had to carry over the tens and the hundreds place. So
My two most
There we
hated things, math and math.
all right. The outer layer of it looks to be starting to get cracked, and your shot leaves a big burning hole, and you can see kind of a dark blood coming out of it with pure white fleshiness underneath.
Nice.
And it seems kind of like it's spongy insides,
Gross.
more so than anything else, which is strange. All right, Rohan.
Yeah, so Rohan's up there with the tentacles.
Mm-hmm.
A 29 to hit.
That will hit. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
$34.
34. All right, with that, you have fully depleted his SDC. So it's down to hit points and bleeding.
All right.
Oh yeah, Rohan.
Next
Jeez.
queen.
Nice.
32.
All right, 32 is going to hit. Are they in here? Are they in a different room?
36.
All right. 36. It's not looking happy. Rohan's taking it down a peg.
Good.
There we go.
It's getting pretty close, but it's not there yet, and it has an action left. Where is my conversion book 1? Conversion book 3. Guns, conversion book 1. There we go. Nope, not that kind of spell. Yes, that kind of spell.
No.
All right. Huh. That's a slow one. Okay. Okay, everybody. As a blast, a bellows goes up out of it. Rohan, a tentacle's gonna lash out at you,
Okay.
and with a 17.
Okay, so parry. A 30 to parry.
Yeah, that'll beat it. This thing bellows with an unnatural roar that resounds from all sides of it. There is no saving throw, as the very sand around you starts to swirl and mount, and then fly upwards to you are now all suddenly in a sandstorm.
Oh, this thing's fucking awesome. Why?
If you have unprotected flesh, it hurts. Vision is about 5 feet. It's 120. Wait, it's about a 50-foot radius around it. So we'll say Greeks and actually Greeks is by its tail, which is also within its radius. So yeah, this thing's huge. Let's see. Talking is pretty much impossible without covering your mouth. Hearing is reduced by half. Your speed is reduced by 75, -5 to strike, parry, and dodge. Everyone loses initiative and 2 attacks. And speed is reduced. Yeah. It's just, it becomes impossible to see. Those who, yeah, everyone's caught up in it because it's taking such a big thing. So everybody loses 2 attacks and has -5 to strike, parry, and dodge.
God damn.
Radar and motion detectors are temporarily obliterated. As yes, you're catching a lot of motion. But if you are within 5 feet of it, you can still make an attack at it. Otherwise, you'd be shooting blind, in which case some things might happen. All right. Starissa.
Okay, so
It's
Now, I
incredibly hard
had-
to see all around
I
you.
had 5 actions. We lose 2, so would I be out of actions?
How many did you use? 4?
I've used 4, yes.
So yeah, you'd be little. You know what? I'll give you 1.
Okay. I am just going to be out of frustration. I'm going to punch at it again.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
punch it in the
I
face.
will do a 13 to hit.
13 does not hit it because you still have the -5.
Oh, yep, you're right. You're right. So it was a straight roll.
Yep. Peppermint, do you have any actions left?
I used 3. And I have 5 total, so if we lose 2, I would technically not have any left.
Gotcha. All right. Greeks.
Did my roll with the impact count as 1?
No.
So I still have 2 left.
That's right. You get extra actions while piloting things.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna yell out. Gather up if you're not gonna attack it. And I'm gonna fly down a bit and create a force field around myself.
Okay. It's hard to hear that, but you have legit loudspeakers, making it easier. The howling winds of the sandstorm, everyone can kind of hear that Greeks is kind of calling for a gather up. If you're not gonna like hand to hand it. So Greeks, I'm gonna say at the end of this round you can trigger the force field.
Mhm.
So that anyone who's willing to move into it can get into it before you trigger it. Cool?
Yeah.
All right. Kid.
So I have 6 actions per melee. That means that we use 2 actions per turn, right?
Yeah.
So I think I have 2 actions left.
Well, and then you
I go
lose 2.
twice.
You went twice
Oh, I lost 2 because of his
because
sandstorm.
of the sandstorm.
Ah, okay, then
It's just hard to move in.
Then I will go. I'll go get into this force field with Greeks. Damn, I'm gonna get into the force field with Greeks. Wait, can I hear it? Do I have to like roll to hear that?
You hear it well enough.
All right, I'm gonna get into the force field with Greeks.
If Greeks wasn't using a literal loudspeaker, you wouldn't have heard it.
I wouldn't have been able to hear him. Yeah.
But yeah.
So I like struggle to get into this force field. Does it stop all the sand from hitting us?
Not yet, but when it comes down, it might.
Okay. Okay.
One assumes it will once the thing comes down.
Yeah, I'll go in there and be like, "Do you have a plan?" And
No.
I want to reach into my bag and go, "I have something," and I want to pull out big bolt cutters. I go, "Is this anything? I don't know. Is this gonna help? I thought maybe we could, like pry it off. You know what I mean?
Cut his legs off?
No. Like the flakes of armor. We could pull them off."
Just wait in here and wait for Rohan to kill it.
What?
Just wait in here.
All right, Freya.
There's sand everywhere.
Okay, Freya has 1 action left.
Mhm. Thanks, boxing.
Yes. So
Boxing gives you 1 action.
she can't see. She can't get to it. Right?
Movement is very difficult.
Yeah.
You might be able to get up there physically if you want, but also you might move in the wrong direction.
Yeah. She's gonna like pull up and pull down and follow the dubstep. I really feel like Greeks is gonna have like a little dubstep thing that we can follow. And she's going to go that way.
Follow the unts. Yeah, so you can make it over towards Greeks' bubble of relative
Bubble of-
safety.
Couple of
Yeah.
unts.
All right. Rohan.
So Rohan, he benefits from boxing too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. So going to take a whack at it. That is a 26 to hit.
that will hit.
All right, math. That's 39.
39. Oof, not looking great.
And he will stay there.
Okay. One last tentacle is going to come whipping at Rohan.
Okay.
That is a 23 to hit.
Okay. Parry 26. It's a plus 13 to parry.
So
So
then
26.
a second tentacle is going to come ripping down at one of the Quarian, one of your guides, and its
Oh,
mount.
no. A red shirt.
And that is a 20 to hit.
Oh.
The mount is confused and has a -5 and rolled a 5.
Oh no.
As this thing gets just ripped out of the ground into its mouth. It's in the air for a moment, and then it moves its head up a little bit more and starts to go into the ground. And begins to move away.
Oh. Hey, good.
I'll give Rohan 1 shot to do something.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rohan gets 1 shot to do something, and then someone else will get 1 shot to do something.
That's a 30
Okay.
hit. And let's see here. $36.
All right. That takes care That does damage to it, but it is still starting to move. Now, the other person that's still standing right up against it is Starissa.
And it hasn't eaten the guy yet. He's just about to.
It's starting to go down. It looks like it's got most of the mount in its maw. And it looks like this thing is basically grabbing a meal and running. It doesn't look healthy.
Okay, I still don't want to see it get eaten. I'm going to try Paralysis Lesser on the tentacle.
Okay. All right. So what is the... You know what, though?
Standard save. It'll drop in its mouth anyways.
Kind of. So no one can really see you very well right now.
Yes.
And you feel like certain kinds of damage might be very effective, delivered from you specifically, might do more than you expected.
Thinking that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, Paralysis Lesser, having the word lesser into it, really indicates that it is not going to be very effective on a
the limited
100-foot long.
Yeah, the limitedness is it only affects a single limb.
And it's got about 35 that you can see.
Yeah, so I was more trying to think it's just releasing the mount by hitting the tentacles being held in.
Nah, it would drop it right into its maw as it was pulling
Okay.
it, like, down into the ground.
Well, then I'll do my last ditch. I'm going to take a swipe at it.
Do
And
you
I'm going to, yes.
transform first?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a swipe at it.
Oh! Wow.
Is it a 1?
It is.
All right. I will give you, in this one time only,
It's too cool.
It's too cool to let you have
Yeah.
a 1.
You can't waste it.
Take
on a
advantage
one.
on this. Roll again. Take the
I
higher
don't know
of
what
the
you're
2. If you
transforming
roll another
into, but I
1,
want to know.
Natural 20.
there you go.
You're fucking
Hey.
kidding me. No,
I'm
you
not.
didn't.
I'm absolutely not.
All right.
Advantage
Roll your
is the
damage,
fucking best.
and then triple it against this foe.
Okay.
Does Rohan see this?
No, Rohan is more than 5 feet away.
Oh, oh man.
Rohan. Are you another Nightbane? Do we have another Nightbane?
Nightbane can spot each other.
Yeah.
So the total damage
she
then
was
triple,
smelling
right?
hard.
Yes.
45.
Okay. That puts it over 200 as hit points. The storm begins to die down. You can tell this is about to happen. Do you change
Yes.
back?
Yes.
All right. The storm dies down, and the mount, the Silenar lizard that was in its mouth, is dead, but the rider is saved with only a small fall to the ground as this thing's throat, the last 10 feet of it kind of fall off. It is not a clean cut that sliced it. It is more of a tear. A massive tear. And standing at the base of it, covered in sand and worm blood, is the diminutive form of Starissa.
Wow.
It takes about another 10 seconds before the sandstorm dies down enough that anyone can really see anything. Greeks' force field has left a perfectly spherical shape of accumulated dune around it. And the giant worm has been killed.
So what I was saying is, I think that I can snip pieces of. Oh.
Oh, it's over.
Whoa. Starissa, did you do that?
Yeah. I used
Oh,
my
that's
magic.
awesome. Yeah, what
And
kind of
I-
spell is that?
Good job.
Yeah, good job. You should have done that right in the beginning.
I tried.
Oh,
But
that's
I had
okay.
it. I was, I haven't
It
had
was
to actually
hectic.
fight anything, so
It was
I
hectic. Yeah.
forgot.
That's
Yep.
all right. Don't worry about it. It happens to the best of us. You did a
Rohan
great job.
Rohan flies down to Starissa and sort of like does like a warrior thing and like bows and says, "Thank you."
I give a big thumbs up.
The Quarian gets up and looks terrified of everything because
Don't worry. You're saved.
But our mounts. I'll have to ride with one of you.
You can ride with me. I'm pretty small.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay.
Quarians are, let me describe it, not the Gosai. Starts with a Q, where is it? Not the Quillbacks. Quarians. They are bluish. Let's see, let's just go to the appearance part. Tall, broad, and muscular, they look like similar to orcs and trolls with pupilless eyes. Pupilless reddish eyes and dusty blue-purple skin with rope-like tendrils. Oh, they're basically the things from Avatar.
Blue
Oh,
people?
really?
Yeah, yep. With Quarians tend to like to tie back in a bundled ponytail. Their tendril-like hair in a bundled ponytail. About 7 feet tall.
Was this before Avatar?
This was before Avatar, yeah.
Let's
Yeah, this
see.
would have been
It's
the
probably like-
90s.
That son of a bitch stole it.
This book is
Who made Avatar?
98.
James Cameron.
James fucking Cameron,
Well,
you thief.
These aren't
James
as
Cameron,
live.
if you're listening, you thief.
Person who made the movie Titanic because you wanted to fund your diving habit?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Yeah.
that's awesome. America.
Yep. When you're rich,
So
Um,
cool.
you can't help
Ro-
but make money at some point. All right.
Yeah. Rohan's going to stay out for doing the math at least 3 hours.
The Quarian says these things. We're fortunate that that this is here in the sandy desert, or here in the rocky desert. We see fewer of these than in the sandy desert. The Balgor wasteland is broken up into types of desert. I think officially it is like sandy desert, rocky desert, hilly. Like it's a little ridiculous, but I love it.
Okay, but before we get
This one would have been
moving,
young, otherwise we would have been killed before we knew what was underneath
And we're
us.
in the rocky part, rocky desert.
We're in the rocky part. Yes.
before we get moving, does anybody need any healing? Is anybody hurt?
I'm a little hurt, but I don't
While
know.
that's happening, Freya wants to know if there's anything they can take.
Yeah.
The amount of time we would spend pulling pieces from it would potentially take us into a dangerous part of the day.
Okay.
To be out in the open, especially before the carrion eaters start coming.
Okay.
The smell of this will perpetuate, or will
Yeah. Okay. It's going to attract
Attract
big things.
predators.
Attract big things pretty soon. Okay.
Oh,
Got
Okay,
it.
so it goes the rocky coastline, the stony desert, the sandy desert, the rocky desert, and then the Balgor Mountains.
Wow.
Fantastic.
You
Basically,
guys
the
got
closer
a
you
lot of
were,
deserts.
Can we at least cut off a giant steak for tonight?
I would not eat that.
I would not eat this.
I mean, you may try. I do not know what you can and cannot eat.
Okay.
Me
Are
neither.
these solitary creatures, or are we gonna expect?
As far as we have ever noticed,
Like more.
yes.
Okay, so mom's not going to come around.
They tend to be territorial, and as soon as they are hatched, abandoned.
Oh, nice.
Aw.
And this Peppermint would know is typical dragon behavior.
Dragons, bad parents.
Not all of them.
I mean, that's typical.
Yeah.
Bad
Yeah.
parents.
Bad
T Rexes, Tyrannosaurus Rexes, good parents.
Sandworms have mouth tentacles that are used to lash out, grab, and reel in prey. Given its size, they can do this to just about anything smaller than a true giant.
Cool. What the
Awesome.
fuck is
Wow.
a true giant?
Okay, so yeah.
Well,
yeah,
keep
I-
going into the mountains and you'll find out.
No.
Yeah, so after the healing happens, then we
I was
should
gonna
go.
ask how much damage did you take, kid?
I mean, that's kind of a weird question, but I guess
Well, your armor, you would know
like
these.
8 of it.
Well, things have been tested to the point of durability.
yeah.
In this
I was
world,
just
you
being
know
normal.
SDC, like you know MDC. Your mega damage capacity is something that can be equated.
My
But
HP is what I'm a little
Your
more
HP
worried
is a
about.
little more generic, but you took 8. Basically, a good night's rest will heal that.
And then, so my armor, I can probably fix my armor, right?
Your armor magically repairs, but here it happens much slower because
Okay.
your armor is magic.
Okay. So there's nothing you can do to my armor, but I'll take 8.
I can hit you with my light healing spell.
Because right now
and-
you're bruised and black and blue at places.
Yeah.
and heal 4.
There you go.
Okay. That works.
You see the bruises recede as what does Peppermint's healing magic look like? Is it
Oh,
a salve?
Holy shit. Sorry. It's
No problem.
storming like hell now. Yeah, it would probably be like a combination of a salve and like prayers, nature prayers of some sort.
As she applies the salve and says the words, you can feel the bruises recede into looking like they, you know how bruises look a little greener and then start to fade.
Mhm.
It quickly goes to that greener level and begins to fade, but not fully.
Who are you praying to, if you don't mind my asking?
No one specific. Nature spirits and nature itself.
Is nature itself like a god?
To some, yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Are there those little things in trees actually that tilt their heads? I saw what are movies called in this world?
Movies.
Kevin?
Movies.
I saw a movie. It was really old, and it was a cartoon, and there were little things in the trees, and they would do this. Wait, they would do this, Peppermint. And they were really creepy looking, and they had no eyes, and they
Give
were like
me
little white
a-
creatures.
Fairies and creatures of magic.
They
With
would go,
plus 10.
and they would make a little noise. Do those exist? Amanda would be so mad that I'm not using their name. That I'm not naming the creature right now. She'd be like, ah.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 10.
All right, so those are called Kodama.
Mm-hmm.
They are a kind of forest spirit.
Holy shit, they exist.
They aren't entirely unlike a elemental and a fairy, but less like direct. They tend to gather in groups. Yeah.
I mean, I've heard stories of them. I've never seen them myself.
Cool. That's it. Neat. Just start looking around while I get healed.
Do we have time to just like take one piece of armor off? Like couldn't Rohan just pry off the piece?
I mean, it probably won't be useful for much. It's going to start drying out and flaking pretty soon. But if you want to keep it as like a souvenir, you can get a piece. But a segment of it is going to be easily like 3 feet by 3 feet.
Not easy to carry.
What do you
Yeah,
guys
I
want
mean-
it for?
You can get a smaller piece if you just want something to take.
I mean,
Uh,
I could tow it with my tow line.
You could build essentially a sled. Do you want to build a sled out of a piece of chitin?
I could probably help with that.
I probably could too, because I have spells that would allow me to help cure it, basically.
Because
Make
it being
make
a
it last
magic
longer.
creature, it would start degrading quicker than natural. But if you had some kind of preserving magic, that would.
I do have that.
Ooh.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's throw a wrench in Kevin's works and, and suddenly start harvesting this creature.
All right, it takes about 20 minutes just to get a piece off. It's so big and kind of gooey.
Ew.
And on there, it is about, I'll say 3 square feet. It is essentially a 5-foot square that you could stand on and be outside of anyone's melee range.
Nice.
You know what? I'll give you 2 tiles wide. It's 10 by 10. Peppermint, how long does it take you to do the preserving spell is a question that we need to ask. Because some of your spells are essentially long rituals.
It depends on what it would be, because I think purification would be more of a ritual, but bless food, which would preserve it, which would theoretically preserve it as well, is instant.
Do you have any other preserving things?
No.
Because it's not exactly food, but I'll let you
Yeah.
get away with casting it twice on there.
Okay.
That'll make it good for about like a day, which is about what you think you might need.
It could
No.
be food.
As you start like getting this thing finished, the Quarian starts pointing out at the distance, and you see every now and then you see what looks to be, you know, street sharks.
Yes. I am so glad you asked. Go on.
So imagine if a street shark was peeking up out of just bringing its
The
eyes
street.
out of the sand about 500 yards away. And then just going back under the sand.
Do we all
Yeah.
notice this?
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
alright with leaving.
You
I'm
start to
okay
see a
with leaving.
few of them.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
I think we're about to become very crowded here.
Yeah, we need to go.
Yeah, we should go.
Okay.
I feel better.
And he says those are just the lookouts of the Balzarad. What we need to really look out for is you hear a buzzing. And you see in the sky a lone reddish being on top of a giant fly.
Ew.
That is one of the scouts. We should move.
Okay.
Going.
Yep.
The ones,
Anybody want to ride on the sled? The sled?
the
Oh,
Gromek,
I do.
the Gromek scouts will be bringing the rest of them soon. And the Gromek are not people we want to speak with.
Okay.
In this area, they've
I
been
trust you.
known to work with the not the Jotan, which are giants, earth giants. They can eat this thing. We should
Big
move.
Jolton.
So you get moving. It is, if you had not done your research, you wouldn't be prepared. If Peppermint, do you have any like water-related spells that allow you to purify or find water?
I don't. I have water purification spells. Purification
is-
does work on that.
That is super useful here, as you can find water occasionally. Like, you know, there are cactus-like plants that are somewhat poisonous, but your spell allows you to find easily twice the amount of water. You're also a skilled survivalist. Anyone who has survival, give me a roll.
I think I do. I do not.
Wilderness survival.
Yes, this is wilderness. Though if you are not used to deserts, and let's be honest, none of you are, take a -10.
Aw, that would have been a 44 under 45, but minus 10. That doesn't work.
Yeah, you've traveled mostly in the northeast of America.
Yeah.
Or USA. Well, and America. You've been in Canada quite a bit, most of your life. Anyone else?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's rough going. You start to run out of food and water, but you're getting to where you need to be. And the Quarian will be able to find, the two of them will be able to find their way back. Some of your mounts will not make it, but that was always intended, they tell you. They might not have told you this up front. But, when you paid for the mounts, you paid to take them all the way here and not come back.
Yeah.
And any that do survive is a bonus for them, for the two, because none of them were expected to survive. The people were expected to survive, and maybe one of the mounts, but any extra mounts will be a blessing for them. But as you get to know the Quarian will tell you at some point on the journey, as you sit down for the night, if you ask about the Quarians, that they are a group of people that were brought here by the dwarves during the Elf-Dwarf War. After the third piece, towards the end. And they were brought here to counter the elves had brought in a servitor group called the Gromek, and they were forced to fight the Gromek, but they quickly realized that they were being used and kind of started to try to find their way out from the control of the dwarves when the big cataclysm happened. Now, thousands of years later, there's a couple of small villages of them. Because they have stayed in this area because it's easier. There's fewer people who consider them uncivilized here, because this is a place where people are like, oh, we don't go into that wasteland. Nothing survives there except there's entire cultures,
Yeah.
And every night there is a bit of a chant from the Quarian as they laid themselves down to sleep. They give a chant, and no one has had a bad dream. You've all had dreams, but they have all been simple dreams. Nothing too memorable, nothing potential. I was gonna say nothing important. Nothing, but they have all been even if some of you regularly have bad dreams, the Quarians have a strong connection to what they call the dreaming, and their shaman are called Onyaromancers.
Cool.
What?
They are dream shamans.
That sounds awesome.
Is there a Sandman? Not Kevin. This is Kid asking these people.
You're going to need to be more specific. There are many people of the sand.
No, the guy, he comes around when you're sleeping and he sprinkles sand in your eyes, and he is like the god of sleep.
We don't have a god of sleep, but we don't worship gods as much as the we're more mystics. We more believe in the universe and the dream connecting all.
Oh, it's kind of like Peppermint's thing.
We respect there. Many of us are followers of the druidic and the natural spirits. We respect them. Some have taken up to worshipping them directly, and what has been known as elementalism here on this world, which was not common in our old world, from what the stories say. But we believe the dream is the one way we can connect to the place our people come from.
That's really cool. I'll sit
Yeah.
and listen to anything they say about it.
Oh yeah, One of them loves to philosophize about how dreams are the reality, and all of this is all of reality is something you must fight through to get back to sleep, basically. That wearing yourself out to sleep is kind of a holy tradition for them at some times.
That's
Certain
wild.
times of year they will wear themselves out, even if it takes like days of physical activity, like marathons, where the point is to basically bring yourself into a religious fervor. I was gonna say frenzy isn't the right word for it, but there are many other religions that have a similar thing. Religious fervor is a phenomenon that can be done in real life too, in a way. But this is also tied in with psychic powers, and the way they talk about it, they know the megaverse exists, that there are other dimensions, and that they were brought here, and their people didn't have the power to, like, leave, and though some might have, they find a lot of sense of being in this empty place where this cataclysm took over. They find a lot of purpose here in being together in an empty place. That their culture is big on that kind of more community.
Huh.
Cool.
But yeah. They
You
also
guys
have
are neat.
immense warrior traditions. They
Awesome.
Yeah, basically if you're surviving on the Balgor lands, you have a warrior tradition, or you live underground. They say they deal with a lot of kobolds, which a lot of people don't like kobolds in the quote-unquote civilized world, because kobolds are underground beings. But here, the kobolds trade with everybody, because when you can travel underground away from the sun, it's a lot easier if you're able to do it. But the Quarians are not great at it. So they've taken to... And the kobolds kind of, don't want the competition.
So the kobolds are friendly as long as you're not mean to them?
Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
they just want to trade. That's... If you see a kobold in the desert, it most likely was there to sell you something and already knows you're there.
Huh.
Cool.
Frey, the way they talk about the kobolds reminds you a little bit of the black market,
Ah,
and how sometimes the black market will jealously guard their trade routes.
yeah.
But is a vital supply line for many communities. Now, the nights here are a little weird. There are stars up above, but every night there are lightning storms where the lightning is irregular colors. Every now and then, anyone who can tell that there's dimensional shenanigans happening can feel a dimensional disturbance miles away. Kind of like hearing thunder far off in the distance. You'll see a blue flash of thunder. That is the equivalent of a 1 second long ley line storm. The magic in this place gets wilder at night a bit. And basically there's no natural creatures. Well, there are some natural creatures around, but they tend to be incredibly durable. And even the ones that you see regularly tend to be slightly mutated. The magic that was unleashed here thousands of years ago is still having fallout effects.
It's like a magical nuke.
Yeah. I mean...
A magical nuclear apocalypse, essentially.
Yes. And the fact that they've contained it to just this one area of the continent has probably been a lot of work.
It's like a magical Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Do our guides know anything about this?
They have stories of, their people date back to the Elfdorf War. They don't know specific battles, they don't know specific, they have their own specific battles, but, It's unsure whether you. Are you trying to find anything specific from them?
What happened? I mean,
The
I get
elves?
war, but
Yeah,
like
the elves and the
what-
dwarves disagreed and fought. And then they settled on peace and fought again, and settled on peace and fought again, and settled on peace, until the point where it took a cataclysm so horrific that an entire continent was scarred forever.
Do the books we bought back at in the town, the storybooks, do they have any information on the cataclysm?
They have a little bit of it, but actually the Tristine Chronicles has more on it, which you had access to copies of in the library. The Tristine Chronicles goes into more details about why it ended, and some say that the gods held off because they didn't want to get involved tooth and nail in the war until, let's see, here's a passage from the Tristine Chronicles. One must remember that both sides escalated the fighting just as both ignored the other's repeated pleas for peace. The blame falls on both for the devastation their pride hath wrought, a crime that shall be long time in the paying. That is why the gods do not allow the elf and dwarf to reign over their own kind, and has made them second to men. One assumes that there was a human writing this, because copies of the Tristine Chronicles are like all interpretations of something. There's no one true version of it. Thus they wander, and in shame over a world that shall never again entreat their visions of greatness. They are the fallen ones, and their folly must become the wisdom that the age of man has yet to learn. But this is not a concern for the elf and dwarf, for they must contend with the dark handiwork of their forefathers until the end of time, or forebearers until the end of time. Furthermore, theirs is a legacy of 1,000 shattered cities, an infinitude of shattered lives, decimation of 2 great civilizations, and the collapse of 2 great races once called noble. For in hate, anger, and jealousy, they did bring a blight upon the world, not seen or heard since the dreaded old ones. And the specters of chaos from the days of old did turn their hearts to cold stone and cloud their minds with dreams of furthest vengeance. Born from the womb of hatred, together elf and dwarf spawned only war and destruction. Only when Balgor became a wasteland did the remaining elves and dwarves finally understand the horrors inflicted upon themselves, and in doing so, on all they touched. It goes on, but you got the gist of it there.
Damn.
So basically, this was a beautiful land before whatever they did to it did this to it.
Yes. Even during the start of the war, it was a beautiful land, but the war kept being pushed. The war lasted for a couple thousand years, I believe. On and off. You know, every time they would come to a peace, something else would come.
They would find a reason to kill.
They would
each
find
other.
a new reason, new suspicions would arise, new hatreds would form, vengeance would be
Maybe
taken.
an attack or something. Somebody do something stupid.
And there's rumors that the gods stayed out of it until one god, so convinced that they knew the only way to end the war, further pushed everyone further down the darkness into war, only knowing that the only thing that would stop them is looking back in horror.
Who was that god?
It is not mentioned here in the Tristine Chronicles that you have found.
I mean, it worked. They were correct. It's horrible, but they did it.
And it was only when they got involved did the other gods get involved in order to remove all gods from the war.
Harsh.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to know about the people here or the other things that I could potentially answer?
How long ago did that war take place?
6,000 years.
I fucking knew it. Okay.
Kid?
Yeah.
Do you think your mom had something to do with the cataclysm stuff?
I don't think she would have something to do with the cataclysm, but I think maybe she definitely probably fought in this war.
Everybody keeps being scared of stuff like that, and your friend says we are all lied to. Do you think the lie has to do with whatever the cataclysm was?
My mom wouldn't have had anything to do with something like this. No way. There's no way. She wouldn't have
I don't. I mean,
caused
but
some
she
sort
could have
of.
been there at least and maybe saw it. Maybe she knew something.
She was probably fighting in the war on the side of the dwarves because she's a dwarf and a proud one. And
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 8,000 years ago, not 6,000.
Oh.
okay.
Well, then your mom wouldn't have been there.
Well, she would have. I got the dates wrong.
Okay. Yeah, figured. I think she was there. I think she fought, and I think she probably saw what happened, and maybe just really doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
And I
but
think that's it.
I'm just wondering if I just keep hearing about the lie that your friend's upset about.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But what would that have to do with Lockhinge, and what would that have?
Well, that's
What would that have to do with my town?
where they went to get away.
And your mom said not to mention her name, and
She seems pretty awesome, so she's probably pretty famous.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that she did something bad. I'm just saying I'm wondering if it all revolves around this event.
I think it does.
And if we can find out more about the event, maybe we can answer some of the questions.
Maybe we'll get more answers at the keep. And that's where my mom lived.
Yeah.
So, and it's here.
I didn't mean to make you sad. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I've been sad most days. This is horrible. All this sucks a lot, very much. But, we just gotta keep doing it. But that sandworm, huh?
That thing was scary.
Yeah, that was scary.
All right, and on that note, it's a little late, but we should take a break.
Yes, I need
Okay.
water.
Yes, alright. Everybody get up, get water, do all the things, and of course enjoy the art and the music, and we will see you in a bit. Hello, we are back.
Welcome back, everybody. So the crew fought a giant sandworm and talked to their guides a bit. It seems they're approaching the area where Kid's family descends from. As you come through the desert area, the ashen desert area that you're in, it is jagged and rocky at some points, but you can see that it used to be pretty mountainous until you come to a valley. And I say valley, but it's more of like a dune, where you can see the, like, where a valley might have been, and then sand filled it in. You look back at the picture. Greeks can pull up the picture.
The picture that Kid's sister painted.
I wouldn't say sister.
Yeah.
Gross. God, I hope not.
No, who was it?
Winra.
Renra.
Oh, that's right.
My love interest.
Why did I think sister?
I don't
Well,
know.
Greeks doesn't think in terms of love interests.
What are you related? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
And you can see that this seems to be the right place, but it is. You can't even really see ruins from where you are. But Kid, you can see threads.
Oh.
As you get closer, you start seeing solidifying more and more threads from Starissa's bracelet, reaching down towards the ground and into the dune.
Is it like at like a set angle? Like
Yes.
it's going towards something?
Yes.
Hey Starissa, do you like feel anything? I know it's a weird question.
I wave it around. Do I feel anything?
A little bit. It's the bracelet feels, it doesn't feel like a burden often. Every now and then it feels like you're carrying something, but here it feels like a tug a bit.
Okay, I kind of do the thing where I let my arm kind of go limp and let it kind of pull.
Yeah, and kid, you can kind of see that her arm falls into the line of that string, as though that string is pulling very gently.
Huh. All right, I think there's something under this sand. Like in the sand dune, because I see one of the ghost strings leading in there. I want to turn to one of the guides. Do you guys know anything about something like buried under the sand?
There's
Are they
runes.
still with us?
Yeah, they're with you. They said there are runes around here. We will not be here tonight. This area has weird phenomena during the night that we are not comfortable staying around for.
Oh.
People have
What
gone
happened?
missing in the reality storms that sometimes have hit this place.
Did you say reality storms?
They say it differently, but it breaks down to reality storm. They say it in their language, but in explaining it, they basically mean a crack in space-time that occasionally happens.
Like a rift?
Like a rift.
That's good for us.
That is good for us. But
We should use presence.
Okay. With present sense, you get... What is the radius on present sense?
120-foot area.
Okay. We'll say that's a complete radius. And generally you don't, because it's a complete radius, generally you don't notice very much underneath you. Except this time you do. Kind of at the edge of your present sense, you can feel that there's beings underneath that are traveling at a leisurely pace and one or two that are resting.
The kobolds? Maybe they know how to get under the sand.
There's some bad stuff underneath.
Oh, bad stuff?
Yeah.
Like big creatures?
Because present sense gives you that there are creatures around, not just supernatural creatures, right?
I
It
think
pings
it's
supernatural. Well, the thing you're pinging isn't supernatural. Sense evil. Present sense. You can sense human DB presence with much less accuracy. There's some stuff beneath you.
okay. So it's not supernatural.
No.
Okay.
Oh, there is also some kind of supernatural presence that's nebulously all around you.
Yeah. Is it powerful?
No.
What the fuck?
Okay.
But it is literally everywhere here.
So this whole place is just weird.
Yeah.
And we got some beings underneath us.
Like What kind of beings?
I don't know, just beans.
Can we find a way in?
I don't even know how to begin to. I mean, do we dig? That seems like it'll take too long.
One of the trackers says, well, if there's underground tunnels here, most likely one of them will reach the surface somewhere. Let's search around.
Oh, ooh. I don't know if it would work for sand, but I have mining. I also have geology and excavation.
Excavation is kind of exactly what you need.
Ooh.
I was either
yeah.
thinking that or dowsing.
I do not have dowsing.
Does anyone have dowsing?
That better not
Dowsing's
be
a
an
fun
action.
one.
That better not be a skill.
Peppermint may have dowsing. No?
Nope.
It's fucking ridiculous. Let me get my. I got a 52 out of 65.
Okay, you look around for something that's solid enough to be a underground cave entrance, and it is covered by some massive rocks.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. I think we just got to break these rocks. I'm gonna go over there with my hammer, and I'm gonna use mining to break the rocks.
All right, so you're just gonna break the rocks.
Excavation. Probably excavation again, I would imagine.
Do we think we could leverage them up?
I mean,
Probably.
maybe. My hammer is pretty kick-ass. I could probably just break them. Unless you don't want me to.
If there's something that we need to cover them back up real quick because we don't want to let it out.
Does anyone have detect concealment?
Let's see. Detect ambush. Yes. Detect concealment.
This is exactly what detect concealment's for. Roll the detect concealment, please.
I got a 40 out of 40.
All right, so that's enough.
Ooh.
This is a massive rock that looks like 3 rocks fallen on top of each other, but the first 2 are kind of like a guide rail for the 3rd rock, which can roll to the side, but is massively heavy.
So it was set up like this.
Yes.
This is like a Jeebus cave.
It's like a kind of, the way I think of it is kind of like a
I mean,
well, yeah, actually, now that I think of it.
yeah. So what? A big rock they pushed it over.
I'm thinking of like a closet door on the rollers kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Except instead of rollers, there's just a rock here and a rock here, keeping it from going astray.
Huh. So it's like a little door. I guess I'll just do that then.
Excuse me.
I guess I'll just push this big rock out of the way. Am I strong enough to push this big rock out of the way?
Not on your own.
Okay.
I have Rohan out.
Starissa, can you push this big rock?
So Rohan
No
will
offense, but your
push-
arms are so small.
Rohan starts to come towards it, and Starissa, your strength is enough to move it out of the way.
With my
Okay.
help or without even my help?
With your help, clearly.
Wow, we did a good job.
Yep.
Did you hurt yourself? Did you pull anything? Are you okay?
I got sand in my shoe.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. That is rough. That's
the
a rough
worst.
one. That is the worst. Man, you have really cool magic if you're able to do all this stuff.
I do.
What
All
do
right.
we see, Kev?
Inside, you see on the cave wall inside in luminescent paint, in what is luminescent moss that has been secured there or grown there by smearing bug on it, and then the bug
Gross.
grows in the moss, or the moss grows in the bug leavings. A sign that says neutral territory, beware, beware the, beware ghosts. It says this in Gobbly.
Oh,
Okay.
I can read it.
How can I-
Any aggression, or there is a smaller note in Gobbly that says, any aggression will not be tolerated, and then underneath an even smaller note says, by the ghosts.
What's a
ghost?
beware ghost?
I believe it's telling us to beware of ghosts.
And be nice to them.
I mean, I'm okay with. I'll be nice to ghosts. I have no reason to be mean to ghosts.
Sure.
I mean, if there's ghosts here, there might be ghosts of like my old family members or something. So maybe we're gonna be cool.
Oh, should we leave some ghost fudge for them? For the ghost?
Is it made of ghosts though? Because we still don't know anything about ghost fudge, but I am tempted to do that. We should do that. That does make sense. Let's do that. Let's leave them some ghost fudge.
You leave some ghost fudge by the door?
Well, let's take it in, and then if we meet a ghost, we'll give them some ghost fudge. I think that's fair. I'm gonna hold some ghost fudge in my hand while I walk around.
These tunnels are, they go from what seem to be like carved out to naturally made, and then to architecturally designed, as you enter what is clearly the underground of part of a dwarven keep. The architecture's familiar in a way for those that know dwarven architecture. You saw hints of it back when you visited with kids, relatives, but their architecture had changed in, the millennia since. But you do see some of the similar things. You start to see carvings in the wall of piled bodies. Also, you see what look to be, how underneath France there's those massive catacombs
Yeah.
where there
Yeah.
are bodies cemented into the wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see an entire room of that, and in writing on the ground is a dwarven, one could say, blessing, and says, the bones that have not broken before our hammers. They shall support us. They are the foundation upon which we build.
This place is really important. Like,
And it's your
In the middle.
family.
It opens up to this massive cavern, where you see a couple of rooms off to the side, which seem like they have been made with kind of carapace-like walls, and the occasional just like stone slabs. You see one that looks to be like a wooden hut. The room you're entered is basically the size of a ballroom. In the middle is a table with it's a little round table with a couple of different sized chairs at it, and you see on one side what looks to be like stanchions have been set up, like ropes and poles in one area, and then on the other side, basically directly across from it, another side of stanchions has been set up.
and it's just around this little table.
It's the big table, and then on the far ends of the room, 2 holding areas have been set up.
Huh.
And as you come in, you see some murmuring. As you hear some murmuring, as a couple of people faces peek out from behind curtains, and looking out, you see a little reddish bit of ear tuck itself back in.
Hello? We
1 moment, we'll be right there. I'll be right there with you.
Okay.
Coming out, you see wearing what looks to be a kind of like a tailored jacket it's not like a modern tailored jacket. It's a trying to
Like
think of what would
noble's
give you the
clothes.
impression of medieval mayor.
Noble's clothes.
Yes, a slightly finer clothes with some like a collar on top of a tabard with some jewels sewn into it,
Ooh.
and multiple colors and some stitching.
Yeah. Okay. Purple. Oh, no,
On
purple's like royal, right? It wouldn't be purple.
the stitching is purple.
Okay.
On a 3 foot, 2 foot tall, reddish brown, big eared being, which is this world's kobolds. He says, I'm the mayor here. Are you here to trade? I will oversee your deals for a nominal fee. Are you expecting a second party? They call me Notary.
Freya.
My name's Notary Public.
Hello, Notary. We are here to. Well, we're trying to find our way home. And
In the desert? You're not from around here, probably. One
no,
assumes.
no, we're supposed to be able to,
Looking up
I
at you, by
guess,
the way.
find a rift or perhaps a magic circle that will allow us to go home.
Okay.
Do you happen to know where someplace like this would be? Do you have a map of this place?
No. Listen, there's only so much we've bothered to excavate because it got weird and we stopped. So we found a nice neutral place with a weird natural defense that we're interested in keeping, so don't disturb that, please. Thank you. There are some spirits around here that take unkindly to, let's say, harsh actions. Words don't seem to respond to words, but violence brings violence in a way that me and my folks don't bring.
We don't want to bring any violence.
Yeah. In
Good.
the area where you said it got really weird, how did it get really weird?
For a nominal fee, I will give you the full guided tour of what I'm calling the Republic.
The Republic.
Let's see.
I mean,
Nominal
wouldn't-
fee.
1,000.
50? Huh?
1,000.
Gold?
Yes.
Well,
a lot of gold.
Greeks and Kid have made money.
You've been
I
traveling.
have.
It looks like you've been traveling a while, but I'm good at reading adventures when I see them. You don't look like the kind covered in skulls.
I swear to God, I have
Is that
haggle.
a kind that you see often?
Well, sometimes you see adventurers who are out there just finding kobolds, slaying them left and right because they think it's the thing to do.
Oh no, we would not do that.
I know. I
No.
can tell. It's especially not here because the ghosts.
Oh,
wouldn't go with it.
I have barter. Can I roll my barter? Because I
Sure.
feel like
What
I'd
would
be
you like
good
to trade them?
at-
You can haggle them down a bit with barter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I also have like fine goods if he's interested in trade.
He is interested in trade. Trade is this person's specialty.
So what would I have? Fine pots
have-
and pans.
we
It's
have
about
fudge.
20.
Tua.
It's about 20 in cookery.
Mm-hmm. I have a little
We-
bit of what is known as ghost fudge. This comes from another world, the world that we're trying to get back to.
What is it?
It's fudge.
Now, imagine I've never been to a world where there's a thing called fudge.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna
It's
take a little
sweet.
piece. I'm gonna take a little piece and just say, here's like a free little sample. It's not poisonous.
You eat
Ill
it.
intent is covered, so poisons are something the ghosts don't like either.
I don't want to. It's not poisonous. I don't want to poison you.
It might, you know,
Tastes
You're gonna-
very
Make you a little-
sweet.
It
Yes.
is
Smells
very
very
sweet.
sweet.
Yes.
Yes.
It's very good. Now give it a minute.
No, I'm not going to eat it. I don't
Oh,
like sweet.
okay. Oh, okay. Well, then I guess you don't want that.
Well,
You
I
don't
mean,
like
I'll go
sweet.
use it.
It's weird.
I have a fine shield here, and if you give me like I don't know a few minutes, I could like chisel whatever you want into the back of it.
Oh, it's perfectly sized for a 2-foot tall.
Ooh, maybe it's a buckler, and it would be a good size for like a small 2 foot tall creature. For a person, it's like those little ones that they had, like the little shields. But for him, it's probably like a normal like.
Yeah, I could see. You know what? If you'll engrave it, I'll give you 50. Bringing
would
us
like-
down to 930.
I would like to barter with him because that's a little bullshit. I think it's worth a lot more than 50 gold. A fine shield engraved. So let me go ahead and try to barter this motherfucker.
Yes, he might need it to defend himself.
Ooh, I got a 30 and my barter is 58. So this is a very fine shield, and I have not to toot my own horn, but I have pretty excellent craftsmanship in my work. I take great pride in it. And I think you'll find that you're going to get quite a great deal out of this. I think it's worth maybe a little bit more. I think maybe probably closer to 500 gold rather than
I'll give you
50.
70.
I think you'll give me 500 for it.
I will give you 500 minus 430 for it.
How about I give you this shield,
Does that
the
shield
pots and pans, and then
feed my family?
I give you this shield, these pots and pans, and then I give you 500 gold, and then you give us the tour of this entire place.
Almost enough.
Will you
I think it's
accept
enough.
500 in a variety of jewels?
Absolutely. So much easier. You know how heavy gold is?
Yeah, it does seem pretty heavy.
Then we gotta store it. Ugh. It's a terrible commodity. I don't know why people carry so much around.
And you can't. It's not good for anything. It's a terrible metal.
Some
It's
wizards
so
want it.
soft. Those
Its
wizards are
softness
wrong.
does make it good for decoration, but it's no good for.
And I hand over 500 worth of various
Alright.
gems.
And then the cookware, the
Yep.
fudge,
Yeah,
Yes,
the fudge.
and the shield.
Oh, you wanted the
Yes.
fudge.
Yeah.
Okay. You just seemed like you didn't want the fudge.
And then I'll consider us good, and I'll give you the full tour with the guided.
Yeah.
With the guide and the deluxe VIP experience. How do you feel about stews? Do you like stews? This comes with a meal if you like stews.
Stews.
Stews are nice.
Sure.
Are any of you
Hey.
allergic to moldy cheese?
On basic principle, I guess. That sounds gross.
I'm sure it will be fine. Thank you.
We make a special bluish cheese down here that it's hard to get the dairy, but we find a way.
The cheese is blue?
Well, it's got veins of blue in it. It's a mold that grows on the cheese and gives it its zest, its flavor, its tang, its deliciousness.
Well, it'll be interesting to try.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, follow me. Notary Public walks you down hallways. There are statues of dwarven that look to be the used to be dwarven statues that have been removed. That are now just like empty places in the wall where there clearly once was a great statue at some point.
Hey, Notary, where did the statues go?
My guess is down, rubbled probably. I mean,
Oh, you didn't take them though.
no, I would have sold them.
Okay.
This place was dusty when we got here. There was just the ghosts. A couple of things had been through here, but we kind of cleared out the little bits of buggers, which was real tricky because if you tried to fight them, the ghosts would come. So we kind of had to lure out the beasties before fighting them.
Oh, I see. So the ghosts, even if you weren't bringing violence onto the ghosts, they just abhorred violence in general.
Yeah, I don't know how to bring violence onto the ghosts is part of the problem. Not that we would, because we need them.
What do you need the ghosts for?
We're neutral. You know how to enforce neutrality? Force.
Makes sense.
Anyone can come down here and trade. We don't do people. Short of that. And trade anything.
Would you sell the statues to?
We didn't. I mean, they weren't here when we got here. There was rubble around the base that we used to build other things. But the statues had long been shattered and degraded.
Does it look like they broke over time or that they were removed, Kevin?
Well, my guess is that you must be from elsewhere. So
Yes.
there's this great big war, and after the war, everyone wanted to break all memory of the war.
Oh, okay.
So this place seems to have gotten caught in that, except they didn't take care of the ghosts, which again, mixed blessing. Maybe the ghosts weren't here then?
Are the ghosts dwarven?
Some.
Elves?
A couple of we've seen elven ghosts, human ghosts, dwarven ghosts, a couple of other people ghosts.
That's interesting.
Did the ghosts fight with each other?
No. Some of them. I don't remember. I don't think I've seen them fight each other.
Huh. Maybe they know to stop.
As he walks you through, he shows you down into a tunnel that gets very narrow, and you have to be very short to get through it. Because this will be a little tricky for y'all, but if you can fit down here, it opens up on the other side. This is one of our natural defenses that we like.
Okay. Rohan pops away.
Oh, whoa. Okay. That's new.
That's our pocket monster.
Is that a euphemism?
No.
No.
That's a shame. Love a euphemism.
What would that even...
And he walks down the hallway. The rest of you have to crawl through a bit. Greeks will probably make it fine. And it opens up into this really wide area where you can see in what clearly used to be some kind of grand hall. It's just a massive open area with what look to be bas-reliefs in the wall that have been kind of shattered and broken apart and worn away using magic, and kind of like someone took an elementalist saw a bas-relief in marble and took their hand and just smeared the whole thing as though they were trying to erase it.
Oh.
And
So
then
this-
on top of that was built a number of warrens, like small living spaces on top of each other, and you hear the sound of kobold children.
Aw.
Oh, you guys made a little town here.
Yep,
That's awesome.
this is the Republic.
The Republic.
I know it's a bit much to name it after myself, but
It is, but I mean, did you make the town?
yeah, I'm proud of finding this place.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right?
It's hard living out here. Everyone says the kobolds have it easy, but out in the wastelands, some of the people resent us for existing, but it's not too much different than people resenting us for existing in, the Western Kingdoms or the giants that just, ignore us if not to step on us.
Hey, Kevin, what's the temperature like down here?
Temperature is cool. It is underground. It is not obnoxiously cold, though. It is a little damp. You think that's something that could be handled with, well, you might not know, but it is something that could be handled with proper ventilation and other things. But the kobolds seem comfortable with it. It's a little clammy down here, but it isn't overly hot or overly cold.
Okay.
And he walks you around through a couple of areas. There is a well that goes down, and it seems like they have traded for something. That all the water is poured into a pot, and on top of the pot is a cloth that is folded 8 times over. It is a very fine cloth. I was to say none of you would recognize an Indian sari, but it's basically that. And that is one way you can purify water is a fabric that fine folded over many times essentially becomes a filter.
Huh.
So they use that and then have ways of keeping it clean. They have some minor magic.
Hey, you guys are crafty.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's kobolds for you.
Huh. I guess you gotta be to live out here.
Yeah, I mean the Quarians, we're not as tough as the Quarians. We're not as quick and sneaky as the Gosarians or the Gosai.
No, we haven't met them yet.
Oh, the Gosai are fine.
Hey,
Quillbacks are okay.
what's this guy's name again?
Notary.
Notary. Hey, Notary, I have a question.
Ballad are really, really the nicest, but hard to understand.
I had this actually is a place where my family used to live. Way back, like a bunch of years ago. But I was wondering if you or anybody that you know came across anything belonging to somebody named Cordina.
When we got here, the place was pretty much buried. We had to excavate a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
And literally scoured. You can still see some of the burn marks in the walls.
Okay.
But I'm taking you to the grand tour into what we call the cave. Well, we don't call it the Cave of... I wanted to call it the Cave of Mysteries, but then I realized the young ones would want to go investigate the Cave of Mysteries, and it's not something I want them to do.
Okay,
so
that's
we
right.
call it the Pointless Cave.
I mean, that is a way to
Yeah.
make them disinterested. They probably
Yeah.
don't want to fucking go into the Pointless Cave.
Well,
Smart.
there's only one thing in the Pointless Cave, and it freaks me out every time I look at it.
What is it?
It's a gate.
Like a gate to another world?
Well, it's a gate to a stone.
Does this ring a bell to me, Kevin?
No.
Huh.
But
Could you show us?
yeah, that's where we're taking you on the grand finale. Would you
Okay.
like to eat first?
Sure.
You have a lovely meal. It is basically a thick stew with chunks of blue cheese. By which I mean blue cheese, like on Earth.
Yeah.
There's some chunks of meat in it. They do say they have, if you don't eat meat, that they have some that they have yet to age. And the stew is not entirely unlike a vodka broth.
Mm.
So it's kind of alcoholic.
So what do you milk to make this cheese?
Oh,
Sandworms.
goat spiders.
Sandworm. It's like goat spiders.
Spider goats. Goat spiders.
Please, God, Kevin, tell me that they scream like goats. But it's
Not
like
when we milk them.
horrible.
Not when we milk them. They're calm.
But they just scream normally.
If you freak them out, but we keep them away from things that might freak them out. Every now and then we bring them out in the sun. That seems to help them a little, but if we keep them out too long, something will smell them.
Oh, come to eat them.
Yeah, they eat the mold. They grow the cheese. They grow the milk. We use it for cheese, and then the mold grows into the cheese a bit. Then we use some some of the stuff we trade for. We have someone tried to sell us something they called the Ponic Garden, and that was weird, so we didn't want it.
I don't know what that is.
It was like a big pod that was supposed to grow vegetables.
Sounds suspicious.
Yep, yeah.
Also, vegetables.
Form, man.
They're good for you. Keep you
It means if it's
I don't
keep
need
the
any.
stuff
I don't need
moving through you
anything else.
regularly.
looks like.
I don't need anything that's green.
Really?
We could always get the,
Yep.
Not even Drayback?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's steaks. Delicious steaks.
Oh, are they? Is it meat?
Yeah.
Oh,
but it's
I'll eat
green.
that. Yeah, I'll eat that. Yeah, that's fine. If it's meat, it's fine.
Are
Live-
guys still with us?
Live your life. Your guides did not want to go underground. They saw the place and were like, we will
Nope.
depart from you here.
Is it dangerous?
Everything here is dangerous. If it says neutral, you might be okay, but it is also dangerous. And your guides, you know, are a bit paranoid, but it seems that being paranoid keeps you alive around here. Like they would rather travel an hour out of the way than come across something they think could potentially kill them.
I get that.
But down here, you're starting to get a sense. The meal is nice. They tell you a couple of old kobold stories about mines and stuff uncovered, and things in the part they call part of it the old kingdoms, where they used to be more of, and until those humans came in and started just like being jerks to everybody. And then the giants, and they, there's a whole mini history in there of the kobold people. But eventually you come to a chamber. And this chamber starts to get warm. Kind of uncomfortably so. There's a bit of, not like, how heat causes air to move. There's a bit of that here, but it's not like a wind coming out of here. And set into the wall is an elven gate. Like, set into the wall, as though a gate was here and then the wall was summoned halfway into the gate. Like, if the gate is 1 inch thick, the wall is here.
What the fuck?
Oh,
The gate is an ornate steel gate. But you do notice that it is missing the hinges. There are 5 holes that look like hinges without the nail in. Yeah, well, I don't like being here. It's warm.
Okay, that's fine. Do you mind if we just sort of take a look?
Well, you've already paid me, so if you don't come back, good luck.
Fair enough.
Bye, notary.
thanks for the tour and the dinner.
Yeah, you were good company. It was worth it.
Thanks for your weird veiny cheese.
Now that's a euphemism.
I'm getting better at this.
All right. You're standing in front of this gate, which is clearly dwarven designed. You see in it a dwarven, like, if you're not looking for it, it's one of those like kind of magic eye puzzles, but written in there is the cairns. It basically translates to the core of the cairn.
The core.
Or the heart of the pile.
I want to take a look at those holes where the hinges should go.
You know how hinges work? You take a round nail and you put little things around the side.
Yeah.
These hinges, nail holes are square.
Do I have anything to repair this?
Well, before you left, your mom did give you something. She handed you a bundle of
Oh
nails.
my god, yeah. Holy shit. Oh, I don't have my notes out. Yeah. I'm gonna hold them up to the rest of the group and go.
As you open up the package that they were carefully rolled in, there are 10 of them. They start to glow. They are inscribed with runes. Not like the way the dwarven weapons carry runes. These are rune nails.
What does that mean?
Magical nails.
Do they fit?
I'm gonna take one, and I'm gonna go over to it, and then I'm gonna look at the rest of the team and go, maybe like take a couple steps back. I don't know if it's gonna like eat me or something.
Okay.
Slots in perfectly.
Oh,
There are 4 more slots.
but I have 10 of these nails.
Yes.
She must have thought I was gonna lose some.
Or there's more doors.
Maybe. You know what? That makes more sense. And I drop 2 of them. Oh shit! And I go and I kick one into a hole, and then I gotta get it out of there. All right. Okay, we're fine. We're good. I'm gonna just.
As you pop them in, a symbol starts forming on the door. And as you see the lines binding these nails to this door, you see the lines also binding to Steris's bracelet.
Do we all see that?
At this point, it becomes apparent enough as the light from the bracelet then forms into solid lines connecting to the door.
Can you open it?
Tug on the bracelet, see if it pulls.
The bracelet
up the door?
stays on. The door doesn't open by you pulling back. Like, that doesn't open it that way.
Go towards it.
As you go towards it, the lines do get shorter as you put your hand on it, and you feel like you're not going to be hurt by this. The gate opens, and as it pushes through the rock, there was never any rock there, maybe? But before you is a blasting furnace. And playing out in front of the blasting furnace is a young dwarven woman hammering away. You can see her back to you. Hammering, and then you hear screams, which doesn't seem to interrupt the woman at all. Quickly, something is brought to her by 2 attendants in blood-stained robes and poured in front of her, which she then starts working on.
I wanna walk over. Does this seem real?
The sound is real. The light seems real. The smell is sterile.
Do I recognize this woman?
You recognized her from the back the moment you saw her. In that stance, pounding the way it is.
Seen it 100 times before.
This is a young Krogadina at the forge.
I want to like walk around to look at her and just say, "Mom?"
No, there is no acknowledgement that you are moving. When you say "Mom," she looks up, looks around. Everyone can now see it's Krogaho kids. Mom. And that's where we will end. Though she looks somewhat, from that angle, she looks somewhat, like, less physical. Somewhat thin. As though you are seeing some kind of hazy dream. And that's where we end for the night.
Fuck, what the fuck? Like, I would assume we were seeing a ghost, but it's my mom. Like, she's alive.
Can we feel the heat of the furnace?
You can feel the heat a bit, but you can't smell it.
Oh, this is weird. We're like entering a memory. Like, it feels like we're walking into the memory of this place or something.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool, man. Shit.
Forever locked away without those specific nails.
They were in bloody robes, guys, and they brought her something and poured something onto whatever she was making.
So,
Blood sacrifice. Kevin.
so, thank you for joining us. We will pick up next week with the truth of the keep,
Yeah, we will.
with the heart of the cairn. So let's go around and give our outros, starting with Peppermint.
Hi everyone, I am Nerdy Titty. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdy Titty. And of course you can find me here on Nerds with Dice on the channel and in the Discord. Of course I'll be here Tuesdays for this. And I will be there Friday, or I will be running Warehouse 15 on Fridays. On Mondays you can come hang out with me and the Bardic Knock and a couple others as we play some Yu-Gi-Oh! And then of course June 19th we are doing a charity stream to raise money for Stonewall Community Foundation, in which we will be me and the Bardic Knock again will be hosting a little tournament, and you can find more details on that on Twitter. I sell a few things, and you can find the video link in either my bio or in the chat right now, and I think that's everything.
All right, thank you. Starissa.
Hi, I'm Kate. You can find me on Twitter at Reverie_cutie and here on Tuesday nights at the moment.
All right, thank you so much. Kid.
Hello, everybody. I'm Evan Jennings, and I'm Evan Jennings 64 on the Twitter. I have a thing. Me and my girlfriend will stream video games every once in a while. It's called Couch Co-op. We have a Twitter. It's I think it's just Couch Co-op. I just put it in our
I'll
chat.
throw it into the.
I don't know how to put it in the big boy chat, but I have it in our Riffs chat. Yeah, Couch, then
That's a working link. Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
is it working? Okay, good.
Link works.
So yeah, it's Couch Co-op, and we just finished Resident Evil, and we might play through all the Batman games. We don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so we like to do that. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Michelle Freya.
Hi, I'm Michelle. You can find me on Twitter at Shell_game. And right now I'm here on Tuesdays.
All right. Thank you so much. And Ting Greeks. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Ting. You can find me on Twitter at TingChat, and I'm here Tuesdays. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. My name's Kevin. You can find me at Bisonic Kevin on the Twitter. The best place to find me is on the Discord, which you can find for our channel very easily. Nerdy's been kind enough to link to it a bunch. So you can find my wife's amazing knitwear designs, including the Geekalon sweater this year called On Board. She's just posting a bunch of double knitting videos, getting everyone ready as the pattern, it's a knit along, as this will help everyone get ready as the clues start to drop in a couple weeks. So here's the link to that, and that's it for now. So do we have a raid or something?
Yes, we will be raiding Atlanta by night.
Ooh.
So have fun, enjoy that, check them out, of course, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.